You must have seen these colorful sunflowers from somewhere. T-shirts, sculptures, handbags, jewelry, digital art, makeup, music video, palettes of worksite. The pop artist who created this icon, Murakami Takashi, yes, this cute-looking Japanese oji-san, is who we are going to spotlight today. Hello everyone, welcome back to Visual Literacy Hub. This is Angela. I created this channel to record my daily observation and analysis about this very visual world that we live in. My analysis is 100% personal, nothing professional. This is about you and I together to see, think, and share. Well, let the fun begin. Now, I'm not going to tell you his birthday and hometown because you can simply Google that, and because those information don't matter. But what you need to know is Takashi came a long way from starving artist to successful artist. He applied to art school 3 times and he said that he had no amazing talent or spectacular skills back then when he was studying traditional Japanese painting. Plus, art is never an easy career to live upon. So he was still a poor young artist when he was in his mid-30s. But he was very determined that he was going to not only survive, but also thrive in both the art world and the money world. The change happened when he came to New York after receiving a scholarship and was exposed largely to Western contemporary art. He developed a strategy to first establish himself in the Western art world and then return to Japan, building a new art market. He aimed to create a form of art that was uniquely rooted in Japan's own culture and history, but still valid internationally. With this strategy in mind, he created the concept Superflat, a new art form that was inspired by the Western pop art and the unique Japanese low culture, anime, manga, and otaku. In 1996, Murakami presented the Superflat manifesto, together with his iconic piece, Mr. Dob, as a way to explain his style of work. He claimed that in the future, society, customs, art, and culture will all become extremely two-dimensional, just like Japan. I took some time trying to understand his article and extracted some key points that will help you understand the concept of superflatness. First of all, according to Murakami, the visual of superflatness has always been visible in both high art and low art of Japan. From both high art like traditional Japanese painting and low art like manga, Murakami identified a common method of controlling the viewer's gaze across flat illustrations. In these images, there is never one-point perspective. Instead, artists construct their work along the horizontal and vertical lines, which prevents you from seeing any depth, and only focus on the flat images. At the same time, rather than balancing the main picture, there is a minimum balance that reaches out to all 4 corners of the paper. Because of such planarity and the balance of power, viewers can assemble an image in their mind from the fragments they gather scanning the piece. A more abstract interpretation of superflatness appeared when Murakami stated that the layers of Japanese culture, such as pop, otaku, erotic pop, were fusing into one. Murakami thought that the art and entertainment in Japan were being fused, which, when we look at it now, it's absolutely true on a global scale. The idea of art, commercial, entertainment, celebrity, digital media are almost inseparable. Murakami portrayed the image of Japan on an imaginary painting, where keywords such as eccentric subculture, eroticism, grotesquerie, otaku, manga, anime, childlikeness, entertainment, pop, and the West fuse and form a super flat version of Japan. It might sound a bit chaotic when you first try to understand what he was trying to convey here. Well, to my understanding, which is very personal, Murakami's work adopts 2 levels of flatness. A literal flatness of the 2-dimensional images and an abstract flatness, or you can call it fusion, between the Japanese culture and the Western culture, between commercial and art, and between the happiness and cuteness and the unsettling implication behind. These fusions are happening constantly in Japan, and some of them are very unique to Japan and also appealing to the rest of the world, which I think is the reason why Murakami became the most representative Japanese artist. What I also observe now is a flatness of human interaction. Because of the ever-advancing technology, now plus COVID, face-to-face interaction are completely replaceable by text, TikTok, PS5, emoji, Instagram, leading to a flatness of communication. We are trapped in our own information cocoon, consuming only personalized information, exchanging ideas only to people we approve of, and having an increased sense of loneliness. Our minds become flatter and more radical, less tolerant of different opinions. Not to mention we may enter this metaverse where everything is 100% flat but camouflaged to be 3D in our screen. It turns out Murakami's correctly predicted this trend after all. Speaking of metaverse, late 2021, Murakami teamed up with digital collectible platform RTFKT to offer 20,000 avatars in a project called Clone X, with half of them sold in a 48-hour pre-sale. Each avatar has unique traits, designs, and were generated through a randomization process. Buyers can use these avatars in games, Zoom meetings, and other online platforms in future metaverse. And if you haven't checked out my NFT or metaverse episode, do it now. The most expensive of them was sold for 112.7k on the 14th of December last year, and the average price was 38.6k. How much sales was that? You do the math. This Clone X sounds exciting for NFT fans and of course lucrative for Murakami. But interestingly, do you know that before this, he actually attempted another previous NFT sale for his sunflowers? Earlier last year, Murakami released Flowers NFT on OpenSea, saying he tried to dig down into the nature of art within the realm of VR. The series of work consists of Murakami's signature sunflowers in 24x24 pixel art, prepared in 108 variations, the number that signifies earthly desires in Buddhism. At first, the online bid for the first flower reached approximately 460k US dollars, and the total auction price was estimated to be over 1.2 million. Surprisingly, a few days before all 108 works were released, the bid for the previously highest priced artwork dropped dramatically to 1/3 of its price, and the other NFT works also slipped hugely. This is when Murakami suddenly announced that instead of selling them separately, he was going to sell them as one package. But this time, his package wasn't that popular, with the highest bid for the package then only reached 65k US dollars. This was when his team decided to cancel the sale in order to take full advantage of NFT and maximize the convenience for the collector while strengthening their satisfaction and sense of security in owning the works. My interpretation of his drama is simple. Having too many sunflowers very similar to each other in the market will not have satisfied the principle of scarcity, which is the key to NFTs. His sudden change to the packaged auction of 108 pieces might indicate that he found this drawback, but it was already too late to undo the negative impact on the market. The highest bid did not reach his expectation, and letting such cheap work fall into the market will ruin the reputation of this iconic series, which they thought is more harmful than making his team and the platform look bad in front of the public. So, here comes the ultimate question. We know that Murakami wanted to be successful in both art and the commercial world, and he did it. But should art be lucrative? This is what we're going to look deeper into in our next episode. We're going to dig further into his philosophy. How did he do it? What can we take away from his success? And is art inevitably inseparable with money? I'll see you next Wednesday. Don't be late. Bye!